Right, here we are again. Just a quick video. I bought a couple of kits the other day just for the box art alone, really. I just couldn't resist. Anyway, let's have a look. All of these are old kits. I reckon this one, the Airfix one, is by Roy Cross. It's just brilliant. And we've got two Hasegawa kits, older kits actually. I'm guessing this one here on the left of the ME109 is from probably the 60s or the 70s, judging by the box art on that. It's very different to any Hasegawa box art that I've seen from later periods, or more recent periods in fact. And this one, the Garuda DC-9, is amazing. I've never seen box art like that before. So like I said, I think the box art on this Airfix Phantom one is by Roy Cross. I mean, it's just brilliant. And what strikes me is how violent the box art is compared to most box art these days. Look at the missile flying by. Looks like an SA-2, a guideline missile. I mean, it's crazy, really good. The name of the aircraft is quite vague. I reckon it's meant to be an F4E. It's got a Vulcan cannon under the nose, as you can see here, and it seems to have like two gun pods under the wings. I mean, I'm not really sure how accurate the loadout is, but I reckon not very. I mean, obviously it's a kit of its time, maybe from the 1960s. I haven't looked on scale mates to confirm. But like I said, I just couldn't resist buying this because the box art was so good. Anyway, let's have a look inside the box. I knew this was almost empty when I bought it. Right, hold on. Here we go. Okay, move that to one side. So yeah, I mean, look at this. Decals. So there are no instructions. I'd looked in the box before I bought it. I knew that it was, pretty incomplete, as far from incomplete as it's possible to be, but clearly somebody's had a go trying to build it. Although, looking at what is left in the box, it's hard to kind of see which option they built. We've got the Vulcan cannon here. That goes under the nose. You see that? And we seem to have the gun pods I was mentioning that go under the wings. Now, this is what I meant about the loadout, not knowing if the loadout was accurate or not, because I'm not convinced that even an Israeli Phantom F4E had gun pods and a Vulcan cannon under the nose, but what do I know? Then we've got like what this seems to be some sort of Sparrow missile, molded all in one piece. There we go. Yeah. Got the pylons. We've also got a stand, an Airfix stand, one of the old Airfix stands. We've also got these kind of burner cans, which seem to have been stuck onto something at some point. Yeah. So like I said, it's really difficult to work out what they did with this kit. We've also got a nose. I'm assuming this is the nose of the F4E, because I think, judging by the decals, it seems to have been possible to build like a Navy, at least, a Navy Phantom, US Navy Phantom, USS Saratoga. The Israeli markings are still there. You see those? That's just the numbering probably for the US Navy one. So yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure. Oh, you've also got like a sort of a Felix the Cat kind of character there as well. Danger arresting hook. Yeah. Okay. Well, we got wheels as well. Okay. So not a lot in there, but like I said, I just couldn't resist the box art. I'd seen it in the shop on quite a few occasions and just kind of found myself kind of drawn to it. It's in very good condition, the box, actually, which is one of the reasons I bought it. And although I don't really see myself as a collector, I guess I am. For better or for worse. There we go. There was a price sticker attached here. Let's have a look at these. Okay, so it's meant to be, so it's 172 scale Airfix Series 4. Right, got like a Sunderland, an F111, an SM79 Series 4, Savoia Marchetti, I think, and then you got a Junkers J52 Airfix have just released a new tooling of that. And then we've got the Hasegawa 125. It's great, isn't it? Amazing. Okay, so next up, the ME-109E by Hasegawa, 172 scale. I mean, again, beautiful box art, quite violent. Having said that, I've never really seen an ME-109 without a cannon in the nose there, in the tip of the nose, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. Bearing in mind, this is a pretty ancient kit. I mean, the box art's brilliant, isn't it? It seems to be kind of dropping bombs, or these ME-109Es seem to be dropping bombs on a bridge by the looks of it. Which again is sort of questions the accuracy of the tooling or the subject, or their interpretation of the subject. But yeah, I mean, it's just brilliant, isn't it? Look at it. You've got this B on the cowling there. What else we got here? Oh yeah, sorry, I had to kind of cover up the markings because it's actually very, very difficult to get rid of those markings, which YouTube really doesn't seem to like at all. But yeah, I mean, I love the box art on this. It's great, isn't it? The design, the typography, all of this. It's great. Really good. And like I said, very different to kind of more modern £2.40. Okay. Yeah, very different to the Hasegawa box art that we're all kind of familiar with, the more modern box art, that is. Let's see if I can safely show you the instructions. Yeah, the instructions are pretty good, so just to give you an idea of these, what the instructions are like. It looks like you've got options for the spinner, for the propeller. Yeah, the spinner. Again, this one hasn't got the cannon in the nose again, and I'm not sure why you've got two different canopies there. That's not clear to me at all. All right, okay. E1 is for E4 and E7, etc. So there must be a couple of differences in these. Okay, so there are options there. I mean, I'll show you the plastic in a minute. I'm not going to remove it from the bag. You get a pilot. It's just, oh yeah, here we go. Right. So there's the spinner that I'm familiar with. So what we got? I mean, the panel lines, as you can see here, very good, very finely moulded, and the details on the tail there, really good. You got the wheel, the tail wheel kind of attached to the fuselage there at the end. All right, there's the spinner with the cannon through the middle. There's the spinner with that. A pilot, what's he like? Sorry, you can't see that. There you go. He's pretty rudimentary. And what we got there? Oh, there's the seat. Again, kind of moulded to the cockpit floor with the pedals as well. Some quite fine parts there. I mean, really, really very good. Very nice. Quite refined, isn't it? The details are quite refined for the period this was moulded. I mean, bearing in mind it was probably moulded around a similar period to the Airfix Phantom there. And we're talking about, what, the 1960s? So, again, the wings. Look at these. The wings and the wheels. The tooling's like really, I mean, it's really sharply moulded, isn't it? Look at it. Look at that. Absolutely spectacular. Beautiful. All the panel lines. Very nice. What we've got here? Got the clay parts again. Seem to have two of those. Can't really, at a glance, see what the difference is. Yeah, you get a couple of those there, very nice too. Okay, right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this one, just to give you a comparison of more recent box art. This is from a new tool Tamiya kit in 2017. The last one, having taken the stickers off, was from a 1987 boxing of a 1977 kit apparently. So let's have a look. So this box art is more realistic and less illustrative compared to the last one. It's still an illustration, but less painterly. The last one was more kind of like manga or anime, that kind of style. And this one's more realistic, not particularly dynamic. It looks like something's just happened. It looks like a bomber's just been kind of shot down. But they're not kind of in action, as it were. But it's kind of a nod. The illustrator's it's kind of a nod to the one that I showed you earlier, the Phantom kit that I showed you earlier. This one, you know, something, although something is actually happening in this one, whereas something's just happened in this one. Yeah, so I mean, I think more modern kits or more modern box art tends to be a lot more kind of neutral and a little less, there seems to be a little less action in it, put it that way. And got this one, which is the Focke Wulf F109E-3. Again, you know, I mean, it shows the model of what they're going to be getting, which is great. But again, you know, not a lot of activity there. But it gives you a really good idea of what the aircraft looks like and which variant it is, and you know what the decals are going to be like. Then we've got something like this by Airfix, which seems to be kind of like a render rather than an illustration. I mean, that seems to be what a lot of the kit manufacturers are going for these days, is kind of renders. There's something going on. Obviously they're in a dogfight with a Spitfire. This is what a Messerschmitt Bf109E-3, so similar to the Hasegawa one that I showed you. But I mean, it's a much more modern tooling, but obviously the box art is, you know, pretty, you know, very Airfix, heavily branded with the Airfix red and the Airfix logo and all the rest of it that goes with it. It's obviously a starter kit. It's got the painting instructions on the back here, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, it's fine, isn't it? Yeah, but there's no, although it's in a dogfight, I can't see anyone firing at anyone. So again, that gives you an idea of how they've kind of sanitized the box art in more recent years. And then you've got something like this, which is a US Navy Skyraider A1H. It seems to be done by an illustrator called Olivero. And so yeah, you get what it shows on the box, which is fine, but not a lot of action, not particularly dynamic. Doesn't make me want to kind of buy it. I mean, it's realistic enough, isn't it? You've got the oil stains and things like that. But the perspective or the elevation of the illustration is not that interesting to me. And then we've got this one, which is the Skyraider, the US Air Force version of the Skyraider A1J, which is completely different. And this one, this illustration is by the same illustrator. It's hard to believe, really, but yeah, Olivero is signed, and yeah, it's a Skyraider in Southeast Asia camouflage. The pilot's got the cockpit open and pulled back. It's inspired by a photo that I've seen that must have been taken from maybe another aviator or another aircraft or helicopter. Now, I mean, this one isn't particularly dynamic, but it's very sort of atmospheric. You can see all the kind of mist and the jungle in the background. You can see the loadout of the aircraft, and it kind of shows the model of what they're going to be getting. So I really like this box art. I kind of contradict myself now. I mean, you know, I think that, yeah, I mean, I much prefer this one to this one. Much more toy-like, in my opinion. So, yeah. And then we've got this beauty, which is box art from the 60s. I mean, this is a 70s boxing of the B-29 Superfortress in 72nd scale by Airfix. And yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? I think it could be by either Roy Cross or maybe another illustrator called Michael Turner. I'm not quite sure. Or somebody else that I'm not familiar with. But it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, look at this. You seem to have like some sort of Key 100 attacking a formation of B-29s during a bombing raid. There's looks like you've got another Key 100 has just been kind of shot down there. Yeah, I mean, it's very painterly, isn't it? It's obviously an illustration, but a very realistic one. But yeah, I love this box art. I mean, I really, yeah, it's something that reminds me of, I guess, my childhood. So there's a lot of nostalgia in there for me. But it really makes you kind of want to buy it, and makes me a lot more curious about you know, what the model's like. Unlike a lot of kits or box art these days, which are largely kind of computer generated or renders from CAD. And then you've got this one, which is Airfix's Blackburn Buccaneer. And looking at the box art, you can tell that it's a render rather than an illustration. So and it seems to be a bit of a composite, really. But and that's the thing, really, about modern box art, is it's often kind of either rendered or computer generated, and it doesn't necessarily have the same kind of effect. You know, it's quite sterile, I guess, in some ways, and less dynamic. And you know, I guess we can see what we're going to get by looking at the box art, but I don't find it particularly inspiring. It doesn't make me want to buy the kit. I mean, really, if I had a choice, it would be maybe the desert pink version of the Buccaneer. I'd like to see on the box, but I guess they chose to show this version, which I don't know if this particular one saw any kind of action in the Gulf War. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. It's not a particularly good looking aircraft anyway. I know it's a good kit. Anyway, as box art goes, it's all right, isn't it? It's not amazing. Now this one, the Garuda DC-9. I mean, yeah, I've not really seen box like this. Well, at least not often. I mean, obviously I'm guessing it's maybe like a 70s or 80s boxing by Hasegawa. So there's quite a playful kind of use of the logo there. I can't imagine Airfix doing that kind of thing with their kind of heavy-handed branding these days. So it's quite playful. It's a Loveliner 200 series airliner, it says there. So you seem to have some sort of Indonesian kind of like women kind of dancing up there, and then down here there seems to be some sort of Buddhist temple or Hindu temple down here. I'm not quite sure. So look around. You've even got some floral stuff going on here, and this is obviously a map of Indonesia going on there at the bottom there. At the top, what's going on there? Okay, so this is the end of the box art. Again, really dynamic. I mean, very, very nice, very graphic. And again, Garuda, Indonesian Airlines. I'm guessing this is probably like a DC-9 30 maybe. It's one of the older ones, isn't it? It's not a DC-980. That's on the Japanese thing, by the looks of it. What's down here? That seems to be a dragon or some sort of headdress or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, some sort of ceremonial thing going on there. But yeah, I mean, I just love this. This is just beautiful, isn't it? Sorry, just get that in shot. It's very, very nice. I mean, when you compare it, I'll just compare it very briefly to the Airfix kit that I showed you the other day, the box art that I showed you the other day. So you look at that one, you look at this one. Just move this out of the way for a second. And you look at that. I mean, obviously this is like an 80s boxing of the Swissair DC-9, 144th scale, and I mean, obviously it's like I guess they've tried to save some money in taking rather than hire an illustrator to do the box art or somebody to paint the artwork, somebody like Roy Cross or Roy Huxley or anyone else really. They've chosen to take photos of the model once it's built, which kind of doesn't really look that nice, does it? Let's face it. All right, it's a nice photo. It seems to be sat on some kind of drawings, some technical drawings of maybe of the aircraft itself. And you've got this Swissair thing going on here. I mean, that's nice. I think the side of the box is nice, but just not very dynamic, isn't it? It looks really sort of, I don't know, pedestrian. I don't know what it is, but it's not very inspiring. It doesn't make me want to kind of buy it. It doesn't jump off the shelf for me. There we go. That's the other end. A bit blurred down here. Oh, half price. Right. I'll bring the other one back now. So there we go. Back to the Garuda, back to the Hasegawa DC-9. I mean, the box art on this is, it's very different, isn't it? I mean, obviously you don't get box art like this on every Hasegawa kit, far from it. But yeah, it's quite unusual. Here we go. So what we got inside? Okay, let's open this up. Excuse the noise. There we go. So yeah, what we got here? Wow, it's so nicely molded, isn't it? Look at that. Very, very nicely molded. I mean, like I said, Hasegawa moulding is really nice. So, oh yeah, okay. It's an interesting way of sort of breakdown of the kind of fuselage parts, the main fuselage parts. The part of the rudders on this one removed from that one, so that's kind of achieves. They obviously didn't want to double up on the thickness of the plastic on the tail there, and they opted for doing it like that, which is very nice. I'll just show you what the, so this scale is, what is it, 1, 2, 1, what is it? Can't remember. What scale is it? 1/200 scale, I think. Yeah, 1/200 scale, that's correct, okay. So that's 1/200 scale, and this one is Airfix, and it's 1/4/4 scale. So yeah, it just gives you an idea of kind of a size comparison. So yeah, just from the tail. Oh, sorry, I'll get that in a shot. Yeah, oh, I'll move those up. Amateur. Okay, so yeah, that's the Airfix one on top in silver, in the silver plastic. So yeah, that's about 24 centimeters long. So that's quite a few. That's about 6 centimeters less than that, but it's obviously much bigger, this one. This is tiny, but very, very nicely molded. I'd say both of them are nicely molded, but this one seems to have raised kind of like, well, I call them panel lines, but yeah, I don't think they're quite panel lines, but yeah, I mean, this, just the shape of the fuselage as well is, I'm guessing in the Hasegawa one, it seems to be more accurate as well. You got this kind of, I don't know where this is, that's quite an accurate representation there of what's really going on. I think this must be a later tooling than the Airfix one. The Airfix one is not quite as detailed, is it? And it's missing this kind of indentation along the side of the fuselage. Okay, I'll move that out of the way. So what else have we got? Whoa, we've got a stand. Very nice. So Hasegawa made stands back in the day. And we've got some grey plastic for the wings and for the engines. And yeah, for the other parts really. I'm guessing they've made it in sort of two kind of colour plastic, a bit like Matchbox, where you, in fact 3 colours, because the transparent parts are in a completely different kind of plastic, aren't they? I mean, they usually are, but yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, well, was the intention of Hasegawa to allow the customer to kind of, or the modeler to build the plane without painting it, and then applying the decals directly onto the plastic without painting it? That's possibly what they were aiming for. Very nice. Don't know, there seems to be some weird kind of scuffing on here. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's almost like fingerprints there. But again, very, very finely molded. Very nice. Well, 1/200 scale isn't something that is probably too small for me. I've never normally built something that size. Let's move these out of the way a second. Excuse me. Right, let's look. See what we got. So we've got the instructions there. Yeah, Garuda Indonesian Airlines. It tells you how to apply the decals. DC-9. Can't read any of that. Oh, interesting. They're recommending that you use bottle glue. So, I mean, obviously when I was younger, I was using the old tube glue, and that was a nightmare. And I used to get it all over my fingers and all over the model, as you can imagine, as I think everyone did at that time. But yeah, I think the breakdown of the parts is really kind of logical and nice, and you know, I don't know how this thing kind of builds up. I don't think we build it in, but you never know. they do say you could paint it if you wanted, but I'm guessing you do have the option if you're on the lazy side or the inexperienced side to just kind of stick it together and apply the decals. Right, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can. Thank you.